this is definitely going way too far. We actually have a movie titled The Poohniverse. Oh lord. Announced today by the creative minds behind the Winnie the Pooh horror movie, we have our official first poster and look to the movie that'll be the Avengers style crossover of all these horror fairy tale creatures they're adding into the Poohniverse. There is so much to be said about this, and well, that's exactly what I'm doing here for you guys, is I'm going to be going into the announcement for the Poohniverse. Not every time, please. Looking at the horror characters that'll be included in this movie, along with the reveal of their slate of films, which of these fairy tale creatures get their own movies, and which are just popping up in the joint film, whether the fun is over now and we just need to stop this. Really, all of it in between, but I want to hear from you guys. Are you genuinely curious to check out a movie that has all these horror fairy tale creatures in one movie? Or are you someone who thinks this is taken way too far and it's like not even funny anymore? Alright, so yes, I never would have expected that low budget Winnie the Pooh horror movie actually spawning an entire universe. I was not very fond of the film, but I saw the smidgen of potential and maybe what they could have done with it if they had a higher budget. And well, the second movie is getting that higher budget. The trailers all around seem to be actually kind of interesting. Looks like a much more fun and entertaining film. And well, the studio did not want to stop there, because we also got our first looks to a Pinocchio horror movie that's in the works, a Peter Pan horror movie, we got our first look at that, and even Bambi the Reckoning is currently being made right now. It's probably finished filming, honestly. It was pretty obvious this was all leading to some sort of major crossover event, but I was not expecting the magnitude of the crossover. Here, looking at the poster for the movie titled Poohniverse, Monsters Assemble. You're having fun there, aren't you, creative team? Where they're saying the movie includes Winnie the Pooh, Bambi, Tinkerbell, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Tigger, Piglet, the Mad Hatter, and Sleeping Beauty. And even though those are just like the official names listed on the article where this announcement was made, looking at the poster, I'm seeing other characters that weren't even listed there. Like I'm seeing here on the upper right hand side, they're bringing in the rabbit from the Winnie the Pooh universe, and it looks like his weapon is going to be a sharp carrot. This is cinema. This is why I watch these movies. But every other fairy tale creature in here, I mean, the Pinocchio design really looks unsettling. I gotta admit, out of all the horror movies they have revealed and up and coming to us, the Pinocchio one is the one I'm kind of the most interested in, because I feel like that's the easiest one to manipulate into a horror story, and the potential for the doll horror stuff in there could be fun. But other than that, what the heck is going on? I've seen so many people also mention this guy off here on the bottom right looks like he's the monster from the Russian sleep experiment. If you Google that, the photos that'll pop up is exactly like this guy. I have no idea who he's supposed to be. I imagine maybe he's Hook from the Peter Pan universe, since he's got an actual hook. Over here off to the left, right behind Tigger, we have the Mad Hatter that I have seen people confuse with the Babadook. That is actually pretty funny if the Babadook was in this universe. But no, that's a pretty good Mad Hatter, and right under him, I'm assuming that's Alice just shooting up whatever chemicals are needed to get her to trip out. So Alice in Wonderland is also included in this movie. Down at the bottom, you gotta imagine this is Sleeping Beauty. Like, I cannot wait to see how they adapt Sleeping Beauty as a horror character. Is she literally just gonna be like half asleep every time trying to kill you, just crawling on the floor? That's where these movies are the most fun to me, because look, this is a ridiculous concept, okay? You and me looking at each other, I talk about these movies because they get the views, okay? Hit that like button, subscribe if you're here, by the way. These are not modern masterpieces. These are barely qualified as movies, but if you can just play into that ridiculous, absurd factor of turning these childhood characters into murderous beings, there's something fun there. Like, I'm ignoring the coolest part of this entire poster. Winnie the Pooh is riding on top of Bambi. Not just that, but he's whipping around a bear trap. Look at that pun right there. Winnie the Pooh, a bear, whipping around a bear trap. The Oscars should be flowing in for these movies. Bambi's design is also kind of grotesque. It looks like it's like a zombified version of it, and that could end up being a little bit fun. I'm curious to see how that movie's gonna turn out to be. I know in the original Bambi, it was like, you know, the mom died. Is this the mom coming back to life? Feels like that's something they could go ahead and do. But another character that for a little bit, I was like, who is that supposed to be? On the upper left, it looks like this is their Peter Pan. He's got the hat and feather that you would recognize associated with Peter Pan, but man, he's got a disfigured face. All in all, the potential is there. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they knew what they were doing with the logo for the Poohniverse. You can't look at that logo and not think of the A from the Avengers. Them even calling it the Poohniverse has to be a little bit self-aware, because although I realize the Pooh in there stands for Winnie the Pooh, I mean the Poop Universe, that's essentially what a lot of people think these movies are, just poo-pooey movies. So to kind of play into that and go, fine, we're the Poop Universe, we're the Pooh Universe. It's gotten to the point now where they're just having fun with it. They're not taking it too seriously, and I appreciate that, because there were moments in that first Winnie the Pooh movie where I thought they were just taking it way too serious, and it did not need to be that. The entire scene where Pooh's just torturing Christopher Robin, I'm like, yeah, this kind of messed up and horrific, but it's like, I kind of want to go into this to laugh, to feel the same way I felt when I would watch the old Leprechaun movies. Because I love that franchise, and that type of tone and balance in the Pooh universe would fit perfectly here. Now, with that said, I need to know the budget for this Poohniverse movie, okay? Because there is so much ridiculous, awesome fun you could have in here, but if you continue to make these movies on such penny low dollars, it's like, it's just ruined potential. I guess a lot of it will depend on how these next couple of movies do. I feel like the second Winnie the Pooh movie will end up doing well, but I honestly have no idea what the public interest is on the Pinocchio, the Peter Pan movie, if those will at all make any money. Another thing I would also hope for that could completely ruin this franchise for me is, don't fall into using AI. It is so easy for movies to start using AI, whether it's for art in the film or little sequences or maybe even just to write the script. If you end up using AI in this, it'll completely ruin my interest in watching this movie. I'm glad for now it looks like they're still sticking to making things a little bit of the old-fashioned way, like they even got an artist online to render this photo up. When we're seeing a lot of these cheap make a quick buck companies just go like, oh, AI, who cares, let's just do it, someone will still pay for it. But yeah, it's kind of insane this is happening. The other thing I do like about it is the creative team in this article mentioned their main inspiration for this is that they're just big fans of movies like Freddy vs. Jason. They like that idea of pinning big horror icons against each other, and man, it has been a long time since we've gotten something like that, and who knows if we'll ever get something like that again. So kind of just that thought process of like, dude, what would it look like if Winnie the Pooh fought Peter Pan? Stupid and dumb, but it's like, all right, let me see what you got. I'm gonna check it out. Let me see what you do with that. But this is now where I throw it off to you guys. You see, the Poohniverse is growing strong. They've got their joint Avengers movie. They did it before the DCU. Are you actually gonna check out this movie? Are you curious about it? And what elements thrown into this film could actually bring it up a level to where you don't just see this as trash fun you watch, to where it could actually surpass that level of like, this is actually fun and good. Anything and everything, be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.